Welcome to the Atlanta Classic Comics very first comic book review and read along. We're going to go with New X-Men number 128 today. Very first appearance of Fantomex. Cover by Ethan Van Sciver, writing by Grant Morrison. Let's dig in. Got the book in a My Light to try to add some protective value to it over the years. And here we go. My name is Charles Xavier, and I am a mutant. The doors of our international X-Corporation offices are now open. Consider us a worldwide refuge in times of trouble. Simply think of the emergency X you'll register on our Cerebra machine, and trained X-Men will be on hand to help you. Well done, guys. From the ashes of the X-Corp debacle, we're making a public relations comeback. Rah, rah, rah for the mutant team. Well, after that whole Hitler Youth mess those guys got into, see that stupid dad of mine for starting it all, Richter, old son. I'm here to atone for his sins. Jamie, you don't feel well. You'd think being the multiple man I could divvy up my hangover among all my clones. Nope, Donald. We all have the same headache, the same brutal hammer multiplied a dozen times. Whose idea was it to have an emergency mission the day after we all got mental on the dance floor? So what's the gig, Gene, hen? I know this one. A train wreck in the Channel Tunnel left 120 passengers and 30 asylum seekers trapped in the wreckage. Teacher's pet, eh, Monet? The professor's contact in London mentioned a potential gene hazard on the train, which is why X-Corporation Europe got the call. Gene hazard meaning you get the people out of there before anyone else gets hurt. You've all been doing this for years. We'll keep you updated via Cerebra link as soon as we have more. Siren wanted to talk about code names. Can we not use our school nicknames instead of these daft Ponzi gladiator names? Cool. I was Jettis for 5 weeks when I was a kid. That's better than Cannonball. Forget it. I'm supposed to be a superhero called Stinky? I wouldn't mind ditching Darkstar. I'll stick with just Monet, thank you very much. I was bullied at school. There's a young man down there in Montparnasse thinking about how cool those X-Men looked on TV. It's hard to believe they're finally listening. The world is finally listening to us, Gene. And all we had to do was take off our frightening masks and step from the shadows. Well, combining this goodwill tour with a branding exercise has pretty much paid the old and hated routine, Charles. We now have a list of mutants all begging to volunteer for work at the X-Corporation offices. And I can hardly believe I've been able to leave Emma in charge of the school. Once a sworn enemy, now a trusted colleague. She's been a real revelation. It's been a long time since I've felt this good or this nervous. Better watch it. You sound like Cassandra Nova. No more need to hide our mutant natures. No more human rules. She was right to go on television and break our silence. She was right to reveal us to the world. She took the step I always knew I had to take. I always found an excuse not to put my reputation on the line. But Cassandra, in trying to do evil, in trying to expose mutants to their enemies, she freed us from a self-imposed exile. I see her now as an agent of nature, testing its own boundaries, forcing change into stalemated systems. And yet, 16 million mutants had to die to prove a point to humanity. I can't help wondering. I wonder if we have any control over our destinies or if we are just biomass manipulated by an intelligent evolutionary process itself. Oh, mineral water. Thank you, Gene. Please excuse my rambling. Now that we finally have a quiet moment, I thought, you asked me to take a look at this growing power source in your skull. Well, everybody at the school seems terribly worried about my expanding telekinetic senses. Basically, I need you to tell Scott I'm not turning evil, Charles. He went this way. I saw him. I'm not stupid. Nobody said you were stupid except the target. Look, maybe he's gone, and we can all just go home and watch the European Cup final. And there you see Fantomex for the first time. No cup final today. It's like I'm seeing more of everything, but it all melts together. It's just sight. It's not just sight or sound. It's all of my senses at once, sort of rippling out through my surroundings. What's this? You think I'm nuts, don't you? Of course I don't, Gene. I've known you for years. This is simply an experiment I devised using the very expensive dining set someone ordered for the staff canteen. You see, when I was dying, you held my consciousness together. Oh, I lost a few memories of certain days, certain years. But what you did was impossible, Gene. To store a human mind intact, and then to splinter and hide it in a million other minds and reclaim it the way you did, that shouldn't be possible, even for an Omega-level mutant like you. If I can think it, it's possible. Take a look for yourself, Charles. I'm ready. Okay, this is the beginner telekinesis. Even so, there are dozens of moving parts here. Your mind's ability to precisely operate matter extends far beyond your physical body and deeply into your environment. But I think there could be more to it. More what? Tell me something, Gene. Can you feel this? Yes. I didn't know I could do that. Oh, my mind. I can feel your pulse through the stainless steel. Gene, telekinetic sensitivity this extreme is known as the manifestation of the Phoenix by neuromystical surgeons of the Shi'ar Space Empire. The X-Men underwent great trials and lost during a previous rogue Phoenix manifestation on this planet. People died. No one wants anything like that to happen again, Gene. I know, it's nothing like that. How can I explain? It's not words, it's more like colors on fire burning in every direction. I feel it. I'm on the shores of what seems an ocean of psychic light. If I actually dared come any further into your consciousness, all my thoughts would turn to ash. Only the ones you don't need in the light. Gene, can I talk to the Phoenix? Gene is only the house where I live, Charles. I am born and consumed in blood and flame and sacrifice, and return, always coming back. Gene, what is this place? Are these words from the future? What's happening? It's not a place. It's how it feels to be the last hope, and to know you'll win against all odds. It's the wing of the Phoenix, touching your heart with flame. Gene, my mind feels blinded, dazzled. Are you all right? Gene, you look strange. I'm okay, Charles. I'm just looking at that. What's it doing here? My apologies. I'm afraid it's me they want. I can read your body language, so I know that you're wondering how I got in and why you only see white roses when you try to look into my mind. Thought-proof ceramic panels. I heard your speech on TV and decided to put you in a morally compromising position. I'm asking you to harbor the most notorious mutant criminal in Europe, Fantomex. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Professor Miss Gray. I want what it says on the tin. I'm a mutant. I demand sanctuary. I wished I'd never eaten that blanking sandwich. So does everybody who went out without an umbrella in downtown Beauvais. Madrox, was that really you trying to sing Justify My Love? That was about the most perverted thing I've ever heard, weirdo. That ye are. I'll take that quavering voice to my tomb with me. Hey, and I hope everybody noticed he was harmonizing. That kind of performance takes lots of long practice sessions alone at home. I'm Madrox the Multiple Man, you doughball. I'm never alone with myself. So did you ever have an orgy with just yourself, Jamie? I'm seeing 10 of you writhing on silk sheets. Respect. Ugh, conversation stop. I'm just interested in the sexual habits of Madrox the Multiple Man. Don't try to tell me you're not, Monet, you dirty old slag. So what's happening in the tunnel? Looks like nothing to me. I haven't seen anyone. Listen, did you really throw up over Beauvais? They're surrounding us. They have orders to bring him in at all costs. They're terrified of him because they don't know what he can do. I'm a thief. I stole something I shouldn't have. And something big and bad got loose in the train wreck. They call it Weapon 12. Your emergency team is probably already dead. Fall back, hundreds of them. Don't let them touch you. Don't let them touch. I suppose I just wanted to talk somebody about Jean and me. You know, through all the death and horror and wondering where we've seen, trying to hold on to that shining, unshakable thing we felt once in the moon together when I thought I'd lost her forever. But it's phony. We were faking this teenage, unconditional love in the face of unstoppable chaos and change, and our lives seem so straight and safe now. I mean, she's ran around in a corset for everyone, but with me, it's sensible shoes and roll necks. I don't know. I love Jean. I love her more than my own life, but I'm not who I was, and I can't seem to tell her who I am in case she hates what I've become. I can save the world a dozen times before breakfast, but I can't talk to my wife about the stuff that matters most. And I guess I thought you could help. Well, you've been keeping a rather lot bottled up, haven't you? I think you just came to Auntie Emma just in time, dear Scott. And that's it. There you see the first appearance of Fantomex and a reappearance of the Phoenix by Jean. Until next time, this has been Atlanta Classic Comics, Comic Review and Read Along. Take care.